Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 11, episode 3. I thought it was a good episode.
I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I finally have an understanding truly where this group is at, not the bullshit like, oh my God, so much went down.
Yeah, I loved. Let's just jump straight into it, though. We have a lot to go over. First, though, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which will be starting soon in about a week. Probably less. And then that also does Winter House and Martha's Vineyard and any other thing that they throw at us. If they could stop, that'd be great. Winter House is on pause. I've never been more. I was
about to say, current news on the street, Winter House is on pause.
I've never been more grateful.
But I do really like it. I don't want to, I like the idea of it.
Sure. Just not right now, you know? Just like later.
Just give me a break and then like 2025 I'm
just not right now. I'm not in. And we have One Season Wonders. Never forget. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I and sometimes Sarah talk about whatever the hell we want because it's our show and we can. And then also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. It was on Patreon first. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and watch old seasons, we'll do a after show. That's what it's called. An after show to talk about current Bravo news. But because we're in live seasons, we'll talk about all the Bravo news we want on this podcast because we can. And also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Courtney, Darby, Dee, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Kirsten, Casey, Kelsey, Chrissy, Lauren, Sarah L, Sarah R, Tierney, Tonette, Tracy, Allison, Emily, Gina, Isabella, Jennifer, Leanne, Lisa, Rio, Robin, Taylor, and Tara.
Woohoo!
Didn't fuck it up totally. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live seasons, which is basically, this is the time to join because we have Vanderpump and Summer House. So there's going to be 2 of these posts, but I will post in the Patreon for our $5 patrons to give us their thoughts, opinions, questions, concerns. All I ask is that you don't use big words or words I cannot read. Because
Alicia got destroyed last week.
Anyway, I'm scarred. I'll never read again. Anyways,
I'll never read again. Don't make me take over the management of the Patreon, guys. Don't do this to me. Use little words.
My birthday present next year, I want Meredith to read it.
To swap roles on this podcast. No.
So I'll read your thoughts live on the podcast, unedited and unhinged, as you will see. Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. So listen up. I got a patron, all right, and her name is... At least it's Courtney because Courtney's new and Courtney's welcoming and she was the first one to comment on my post. And yes, I did post late. What's it to ya? But I didn't post late enough where someone reminded me. Thank you so much. I don't like being told to do my job.
Alicia managed herself.
I don't like being told to do my job because I don't know how to do it. Obviously. But it is Courtney. Courtney, welcome. This is either the best decision you've ever made or the worst. Because I can't read.
I don't think it's the worst. I think that leads to it going even better when Alicia can't read.
I can't read. Okay, great. Let's first get into, I'd like to say we don't have anyone posting from like last week on the post. However, all of our $5 patrons did comment on our episode on Patreon. So listen, there's a few I do want to talk through. I'm not going to read them all. Because we all know how that happens, and I already have to do that later. But I would like to say Tierney last week also thought that Sandoval was putting dishes, like dinner dishes, on the car. So I'd like to say I'm not alone. Also, I did have a friend who's probably listening to this now who also texted me and said, the plates. And I said, what are you talking about? Because this was like a few days after we recorded, and she goes, the fact that you thought that he was putting plates on her car. And I literally did. I don't see where I'm wrong.
Maybe we need a poll when this comes out. I want to know what percentage of
thought that it was
like Vanderpump viewers
dishes versus license plate.
Yeah. I mean, because I see how you got there, but but I was not there. I was not on the train with you. So
whatever.
Just curious how many people are seated in your car.
Thank you so much, Tierney. Sarah also does apologize for breaking me. She didn't mean to. She does apologize. She is indeed a high school teacher. So she teaches English, which might be...
maybe Alicia needs to go to school.
That was not my best subject. I was a math girl. I'm currently an accountant. So please take that in mind.
Stick to numbers with Alicia.
Just writing code. She also lives in Melbourne, Australia, which we asked because there were some phrases we didn't know.
We did chat about that. I always forget that she's the one in Australia. I always remember there's one person.
Her name is different on Instagram. You chat with her a lot.
Yes, I do know that. Okay. The different namings, but
also we hear from Jackie, just because I miss Jackie. She wants to vote Tom Sandoval off the VPR island. I don't think we'd have a show then, though.
I think we would have one more season no matter what, but I agree. It's kind of hard to see where this show's going to go, but in general, we'll see.
Also, Jackie had her birth chart. Her and Dustin, their birth charts were read on an Airbnb experience. And she was also in Lisbon.
Okay, Jackie, I feel like it was the same lady.
If someone doesn't contact Allie and ask her to read my chart,
we looked it up. It's like $195, and
that's fine. The Patreon, we can use it.
It's gonna fund it.
We can use this money not for our bills, but for Allie to read my birth chart.
But listen, she's doing mine too.
Our birth chart. But also,
and Sarah, we need $600.
If she could just have some appointments open, that would be really great. Thank you so much.
Maybe we'll
God, it costs as much as therapy to get a birth chart read. Okay, so
more than therapy, but you know what? Maybe it'll heal me quicker than therapy's healing me.
It definitely will. The skepticism in me is
if Schwartz can get his chart read and they can identify his problems that are clear as day.
What help did he get? What help did Allie give him? Where was it?
I said identify the problems that are clear as day.
Well, that's why I'm skeptical. She doesn't know me. I need her to guess my problems right off the bat.
Maybe we'll get you the Lisbon lady.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Lisbon instead. Might be cheaper. Anyway, so let's get into the episode. Okay. Previously on Vanderpump Rules, Ariana and Sandoval are sharing a house. It's Sandoval's birthday, and poor Anne has to deal with him and planning his birthday. I saw a meme today that said, "If you think you hate your job, at least you're not Anne." So.
Oh, we should have said that when we did our pre-show with
I wanted
Sarah.
to save it. I just wanted to save
understand.
it.
Well, Sarah's hearing it.
Sarah has to edit this anyway.
That really did make me feel better. We all ranted about our jobs there for like 40
At least
minutes.
you're not Anne. Scheana made a good as gold emo cover. Sandoval and Schwartz finally talked, and then James went to Sandoval's birthday. They talked. It didn't end well, and James pissed in his bush. So we pick up right where we left off at Sandoval's birthday at his house. Sandoval tells Schwartz how the convo did not go well. Sandoval says, he asked me if I was sorry for the ultimate betrayal. And Schwartz is like, you should say yes. Did you not say yes?
I feel for Schwartz because Schwartz is like, oh my God, you just put gasoline on this already blazing inferno. Like,
he's like, are you sorry for the ultimate betrayal? And then Sandoval's like,
say yes.
No, Sandoval says he brought up the Kristen stuff. And even Schwartz is like, bro, how could this not go well? So Schwartz tells him that this is the first of many conversations where people will come at him. And if he acts like that, it's going to have a negative effect on his life.
I wish Schwartz would have said, and on my life. Like, you are making my life harder.
That seems to be the only thing Sandoval can, grasp is when he's affecting people he loves and who loves him, their lives.
But, his inner circle, I would say.
That's why I say people who love him.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like
people who have not
still standing,
openly shat on him relentlessly.
Yeah, it seems like if you ditched him, he doesn't care if he hurt your feelings.
No.
But if his actions are going to affect Schwartz or Kyle or Jason or Billy Lee, it seems like he then has a visceral reaction.
100%.
Yeah. So we go to emo night. It's packed. The balloons say sad AF, which cracked me up. As an emo girl. Are you an emo girl?
No, I'm not. Again,
you're more Lala?
Show. I'm not a music person, but I like the balloons.
I'm sad AF all the time, so I get this because I was an angsty teen, if you could believe. Anyway, so James and Allie get here. They go to the dressing room. James tells everyone he went to Sandoval's party, and he tells them about the text he got. So he showed up to call Sandoval's bluff, which, man, did he do it, because he went in there guns a-blazing.
I mean, I'm glad he did not stay for long. I thought when they were driving over, they were going to, like, hang for a bit.
Allie was just going to sit in the car for an hour?
I'm so happy Allie sat in the car. Well, I didn't know that when they were driving over there. The first scene we got of them. I was like, what are we doing? Don't give him any attention.
True. So Scheana says it's weird how James told everyone to, like, throw tomatoes at Sandoval when this all went down, and he got invited to the party, whereas Scheana texted him about Sandoval's friend dying, and Sheena's still blocked. Which, whatever.
Scheana is so bitter about Summer Moon getting blocked.
I get it. How could you block that cute face? I get it. Summer Moon's the cutest baby. I get it. Anyway, so James tells them how Sandoval brought up Kristen 10 years ago. This is the funniest thing. Poor Kristen getting dragged. She's not even on the show anymore.
I still can't believe he brought that up. Like, I don't even know what I was doing 10 years ago.
Watching this. So
I was in high school. No, I wasn't. Yeah. No, I was in college.
You were right out of high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariana is like, he has no one around him to give him honest feedback, to which we then cut to Sandoval's party where he's telling everyone what happened with James, and everyone's like, James is crazy.
Oh my God. I love, again, we get the name and their title of what Sandoval pays them to do.
Yeah. Oh, we have no idea who these people are. They're all his workers. They're all employed on the payroll. Then we cut back to emo night. Scheana, Ariana, and Katie take the stage. Ariana says she's great with a playlist. She could be a DJ if all she had to do was press play, to which James says he would be dead before he pressed play on a pre-recorded set.
It's also different when you do it for a living and when you guest DJ one night.
Yeah, when you take the aux cord versus, like, you make the music, it's different.
Listen, he looks at it like a craft, like a
Yeah, Ariana's here to play sad as fuck music and then leave.
And just dance around. Like, she's here to have a good time.
She's a showman.
Yeah, openly mix some music. So
James is hyping Katie up. This is the friendship I never knew I needed. But I'm obsessed with it.
We're so happy. I mean, we even started getting it before the world started crashing down. So, like, this is a real friendship, not just one out of, like, we have the same enemy.
I know. I love it. Lala doesn't know what emo music is. She asked what band is emo. Nickelback?
Even I know that.
I screamed.
I was like, Lala, why? I would not openly say that I don't know things like this. This reminds me of seeing that the 49ers quarterback didn't even know the overtime rules for the Super Bowl. Like, why do we admit embarrassing things like this?
Don't admit it. Listen, Lala, if they're sad for no reason, probably emo. If they're wearing black eyeliner and black clothes, probably emo. Also, if the song just sounds like angry but sad, that's very emo. Think high level. This is like, we're not going in the depths of someone who's emo a little bit. Think Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. That's like we're getting into emo-ish. You know,
sounds
we're
great.
getting there.
I know for sure not Nickelback.
I know. Nickelback is like weird rock.
This is not my opinion, but she's thinking bad music, quote unquote, is emo.
Yeah, no, that definitely not. Emo's the best. Also, Nickelback kind of slaps if you actually.
I do like Nickelback, but I love that Nickelback is a joke to everybody.
Oh, it's they have some bad songs for sure. Anyway, so we go back to Sandoval's party. He talks about his New Zealand trip. Schwartz then comes over. He's like, hey, I'm going to go leave for emo night. And Sandoval's like, oh, are you serious? Just kidding, dude. Do you? I get it.
You know he's actually mad, though.
Whatever. Schwartz does feel bad for leaving because he's like, him and Sandoval have so much history, and he knows Sandoval's a doucher. That's a direct quote. But he doesn't want to give up on the friendship. To which I was like, I get that, right? I get you don't want to give up on the friendship. However, has this person learned from their mistakes is the question you have to ask.
But also, like, they showed us, like, fun clips, I'll say, in the flashback. And I was kind of annoyed they didn't show any of the bad history. Not even just in, like, last season. But I guess it was more Jax who really threw them under the bus.
It was Jax. But, like, I get they're best friends. It would be really hard if your best friend did something this shitty and this public and screwed you and screwed everyone, but it wasn't directly to you. I get where Schwartz is coming, but you also have to think, is this friendship benefiting me in any way? Like, is he actually, even if it's just to have a person there, is this someone that's actually helping me?
How do they fill your cup? It took me a long time to realize that. Like, I always thought that was so selfish and, like, you should be so selfless in relationships, but there's okay to have like boundaries, and my therapist described it as like a gate. You get to choose who comes in and out, and you get to change the rules at any time, and like it's okay to change the rule. And maybe Sandoval doesn't need to be your closest friend right now. Like, you could still be friends and redefine the relationship.
Reach out, do whatever you have to do, but like think about how it's affecting you for sure.
Choose you. Like, I feel like he's choosing Sandoval.
Choose
over
you,
choosing
love you, be you. We should write a book. Anyway, okay, then we go back to emo night. Scheana, I think she's gonna do her Good as Gold emo version. It's actually like re-recorded by a band, which I was like,
her talking about her Gwen Stefani dream. I was like,
wait,
what is
that
happening?
Was so funny. She gets on stage, starts singing over this track of Good as Gold, but like his screamo screeching.
My God.
And then she says she never wanted to be a pop star. She wanted to be more like Gwen Stefani or Fergie and have guys in a band with her. To which I said, listen, have you ever heard Fergie or Gwen Stefani sing? They're so good, Scheana.
But also, like, being in a band, that is not what, those are not the first two people I would be like, oh, I grew up and really wanted to be in a band like Fergie and Gwen Stefani.
I really loved No Doubt, for sure. But like, what the fuck was this? And the Black Eyed Peas, those were definitely great. But also, what?
I was just like, I'm not tracking, because to me, that's still like, leans towards being a pop star more than
I was kind of like, would I consider them pop stars though?
I kind of would. They
did pop music.
No, yes, they're no like
they're no Britney or
yes, where like they're just the main only
act.
person, and like the band they have with them playing on the stage is just like there just to be there, but still like they are kind of like pop icons. Still, I'm like, this is not like, okay.
Hilarious. Anyway, Schwartz just got here and he sees everyone backstage and he missed the whole set. Everyone's already showed up late.
Love that so much, because I do think Schwartz really did want to be there and see it, but it's like, again, it's how you prioritize your night and like what matters to you, and you just missed out on this great fun group event because Sandoval's being a little bitch at home.
Well, what is it Scheana says? That's what you get for picking Sandoval over the group.
I mean, it's going to continue to happen. Like, this is going to be a theme all season.
I think the group, and this is fair, the group really wants, like, if you're going to hang out with Sandoval, you can't hang out with us, basically. Like, that's kind of the vibe, and I get it.
Do both. Like, he can hang out with Sandoval like one-on-one, and he can like do group activities, but you cannot make all this happen in the same night. And Vanderpump, the production crew, is going to force this choice on him constantly.
Yeah, and also the group doesn't. My point, like, the group doesn't want it. The group doesn't want. They want Schwartz to ditch Sandoval. That's what the group wants.
They're going to force decisions. Yeah.
So then we go back to Sandoval's birthday. They all sing and give him a cake. He's so grateful for the people who have stuck around, put up with so much hate. Like, Billy Lee has had transphobic remarks, and that's
not funny. I didn't mean to laugh at that. Sorry.
Well, it's not funny, but also
his comment, like, you guys have really stayed through all the hate.
First, I want to call out the fans. If you're okay, you can hate Billy Lee all you want. That's fine. But if it's for a transphobic reason, that's
has nothing to do with him.
What are you doing as a fan? First off,
first off, I think the world needs to stop these shitty comments. Like, I find that so horrific,
terrible.
Any version, even like Tom Sandoval, who did like horrible things. Like, you can create videos and you don't need to tag him. Like, you can express your opinion openly into the ether of the internet, but you don't need to go to his like Instagram page or like Billy Lee's like Instagram page and like write all these shitty things.
Comment anything, but also leave Billy Lee's like gender orientation out of this. Like, leave her alone. Jason also got threats. Now I wonder what Jason's threats were.
Wait, when I heard that, I was like, I still don't know who Jason is.
He's the band manager. That's funny. Listen, don't go on Jason's Instagram.
We still don't want him to get hate.
Listen, don't wish death upon Jason, but can you imagine finding the band manager's Instagram and just being like, fuck you, Jason?
I know. I'm like, again,
that one was kind of funny.
Who's his Instagram? Like, how are we finding him?
Should have started and ended with Billy Lee, because I was with you there. But Jason, I mean, it's the most action he's seen on his Instagram ever. I get,
the way Jason is becoming a main character on this show.
Who's Jason? He's just another person with a J name that I'm not going to remember, You
have terrible time with J names.
Jason's not my thing. I already have James to remember. Jason's too much. So this guy, don't care about him. Anyway.
But, okay, with Sandoval saying, like, thank God for sticking through the hate, it's like, there is never a, like, hey, I'm sorry, you became my collateral damage.
Yeah, he's just like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for sticking through other people being bad. Yeah, not that I did anything.
No, absolutely not. Other people are terrible. So then Sandoval talks to Billy Lee about how Raquel didn't text him tonight. And Billy's like, I've seen you suffer through this relationship with Raquel. You're at her beck and call. You haven't talked to her or seen her. And he's like, I just want to connect with her. And Billy's like, oh, she hasn't reached out at all. And he's like, no. And I considered her my best friend and I love her and I miss her. And Billy Lee's like, I think you should just focus on yourself. And I was like, This is terrible.
This felt so scripted. And like, they had a conversation 2 days ago to be like, hey, let's make sure we really lament about how Sandoval's really suffering without a call from Raquel.
What is this edit he's like getting? Like, what is this?
Of course they're going to put this in there. Like,
he's the brokenhearted guy because Raquel's working on herself mentally.
I mean, Billy even was like, I've seen you run out of like clubs to answer her phone call. Oh, wow. Like, that was at her really beck and call. A struggle.
But also, it's like when you have a family member calling that doesn't really have access, you kind of like leave the situation to answer. Like, my mom always has her phone on her. So if I miss her call, and like, it's not a big deal. But if she has a time frame every single day.
How about we like leave her alone and like let her focus on her mental health and not shame her for not calling you one day?
But it's his like 48th birthday, Meredith. How could he?
And that's his best friend.
It's his best friend. He loves and misses her. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, so the next morning, we're at Tom and Ariana's house. And sweet Anne, she's here doing the dishes while Ariana lies on the couch. And then Katie shows up.
It is going to be really hard to watch Anne just be a pack mule.
Anne has since quit. I listened to her podcast. I gave her the listen. I gave her her podcast is actually very fun.
It's just going to be hard to watch.
I know.
It's constantly a theme.
It's just awkward. And also there's a rumor, I haven't confirmed, that Ariana has since hired Anne on her team.
I would love that. I would love that. I mean, during their like chaos of living together, I actually really loved that like Tom had to pay Anne so Ariana's life could be normal. Like, I don't think Anne disliked being the go-between to like keep Ariana from suffering, but it's just like it's the washing the dishes, it's the like cleaning, like knowing she cleans up after his parties,
and
like,
also went to Dancing with the Stars to watch Ariana, so she's a fan. So I hope so. Anyway, when Katie walks in, poor Anne is like, "Hey," and Katie's like, "Hey, what is happening?" So I just love Anne. She's so smiley, so awkward. I love her so much. Anyway, so last time Katie was here, both Toms were here, and we get that little flash, and that was hilarious.
I can't believe we didn't get that last episode, but this is so much better. So I get why
that
they
was
left
top notch. That should get an Emmy.
When Katie was sitting doing her makeup in Ariana's room, like
that's
how
when
often
that was.
does Katie run into him? Yeah.
Yep, amazing. So, Ariana came back to a quiet house, and it's clean. It's only clean because Anne has been cleaning. They're like, "Anne, do you get paid extra for cleaning up his mess?" And she's like, "Haha, I wish." And we all went, "Oh, Anne."
Oh my God.
Anyway, Katie and Ariana are getting IVs, and Katie's got a juicy vein. So while getting IVs, they talk about how Katie and Scheana are going to get dinner, but Sheena's not drinking, so Katie's going to have to drink for the both of them.
No, she says, "I'm happy Sheena's not drinking because then I don't feel like I have to order one."
Oh, I totally heard something
because she's like hungover. They're doing IVs.
I heard something totally different. Everyone, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's happening.
I mean,
not only can I not read English, I can't hear it either.
I swear Kitty was like happy that Scheana's sober.
Well, I found it weird she later didn't drink. So you're right.
Okay, I think that okay, further proves.
So, I'm a liar. Anyway, the friendship is at a turning point for Scheana and Katie. Ariana feels like Scheana sells a soft spot for Schwartz, but Ariana doesn't think Schwartz should get to be invited to things. And Katie tells Ariana how Scheana is going to have a different approach with friendships, which is fine, but Katie just hopes Sheena's not a flip-flopper, which she is. That's Scheana.
I just Scheana. Think she is going to revert right back to it. It like makes me think about like BravoCon and her getting like flack for being in like Sandoval's room, talking to someone. Like, I just think she defines friendships differently than some other people. And like, we all get to make our own rules and stuff, but I think Scheana has looser definitions for what she needs and wants from
She does. She hasn't yet gone against
in the
show.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything, but I
can't wait to see, like, we know something's coming in like Lake Tahoe, like that picture. Like, I can't wait to see her interactions with Sandoval as the show goes on. To just have hardcore proof, not just like, oh, I took a fan photo, you know?
It's Scheana. It's coming. She's a flip-flopper. I love her so much.
I can't wait to comment on an actual show thing.
I love her. Okay, so Ariana's like, people get Scheana to feel bad for them. Like, because Sheena's the flip-flopper.
I never thought about that. Like, people kind of prey on her emotions.
Fine, whatever. Sheena's emotional.
It gives me more empathy for Scheana being a flip-flopper than I've ever had.
She's a flip-flopper, baby.
She empathizes a little too much.
But Katie basically says, I don't know if I want Scheana super close. It might bring energy I'm trying to keep out of my life, but we'll see. So, whatever. So we go to Pump, RIP to it closing forever. Lisa's very sad. She and Ken talk about if this was the right decision. And then Tom Sandoval walks in with flowers. And Lisa looks at Ken and goes, oh shit. Well, not looks, talks to her phone. And is like, oh shit. And then hangs up. And Sandoval's like, hey, brought you flowers.
He walked in like so normal.
Unexpected.
Like, as if this was a year ago.
This was hilarious. And then she's like, how are you doing? And he's like, I'm all right. I'm a little beat up from New Zealand. And Lisa doesn't even ask about it. She's just like, how's it going with the group? Because that's what she cares about, because that's her paycheck. Yeah. And so Sandoval says he's seen Ariana, but they don't talk because they live in the same house. To which Lisa says, can someone please leave the house? It would be the gentlemanly thing to do if you just would leave the house, Tom.
Yeah.
To which he says, but it's an awesome house, and I've been doing a lot of work on the house. I just don't know how to move forward. I've been trying to figure this out. This is a lot for me. I've created this, but it's still a lot. Did I do it right?
No, I mean, no. Good? Like, there's not enough aggression in your voice, and it's not loud enough.
Oh, okay. Ali died. Scheana reached out, and how dare she? But she's starting rumors about me and Billy, and you know what? I need from Scheana a day off from dragging me through the mud.
That was perfect.
Thank you so much.
He wasn't breathing during the entire monologue. Really coming across.
He has veins popping out, and I just don't feel like doing that.
No, I get it. Yeah. I was shocked he came with such quick energy towards Lisa, who's not yelling at him really. She's challenging him and
aggression.
I understand why he kind of gets more aggressive with James. I'll say wanting and I'm sorry.
Well, James will also get in your face. Lisa's just sitting here.
James came in hot the other night, and so it's not like that was going to be ever a calm conversation. But yes, Lisa's just sitting here, and you came and brought her flowers to say oh, I'm sorry, your restaurant is closing down. That's the tone he walked in on, and he's acting like she just staked him.
Yep. Anyway, he wants everyone to give it a rest for him and Raquel. Stop bringing someone on Scheana's podcast to talk about sexually explicit things that some guy did with Raquel that she dated for a brief time.
I don't even remember that happened.
Anyway, this guy, we'll get more into this later.
Wait, really quick. When I was listening to him say that, I was like, why do we get a hate on Scheana for doing something like that? But when you talk about Ariana wearing a t-shirt when you're having sex, that's okay. On a full reunion that's going to be watched by loads of people.
Wow, Meredith, I love that. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. We should let him know so he can freak out on us. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, he's already... Just to play devil's advocate, even though the devil doesn't need anymore. Meredith, he's getting a lot of hate. Okay, so maybe just stop hating him for 1 minute.
Okay.
And he's protecting the love of his life who's ignoring him right now, okay? Come on. Anyway, so
starting my timer, by the way.
This guy claimed that Sandoval had told Raquel that him and Ariana were in an open relationship, which we later remember that Scheana had said that. So Raquel, he also said that Raquel begged this anonymous guy as of right now to have sex with him on Scheana's bed.
He's not anonymous. He was on another Bravo show. I wish they would have made Sandoval.
He was on
Shaws of Sunset. Yes. I wish they would have made him made Sandoval explain that, because I think that would have been so funny if Sandoval had to describe exactly who this person was.
Yeah. So
I love Nima.
Later Scheana comments his name, Nima. But yeah, so also Nima apparently told everyone that Raquel wanted to have sex on Scheana's bed, which
I think that happened not Hannah Brown, that's the Bachelorette. Hannah
Burner.
Yes. Wedding week. That's when Raquel randomly went to that wedding, even though Hannah didn't know her.
Shout out Nima. Yeah, who knows? You know what, Raquel, that's not the weirdest thing though, to just have sex on someone else's bed. There's more terrible things you've done, honestly. Truthfully, the weirdest thing was that you didn't want to get in the pool with Tom Sandoval unless he had a towel for you.
The weirdest thing is that you banged him in a driveway in a car.
When you guys were sopping wet from a pool and only had a few. Listen, towels dry you off.
They had towels. They weren't sopping wet.
Okay, they dry you off, but not totally. The chlorine is still on you.
Oh my God.
We know. Anyway, so Sandoval is just grossed out because he is against this mob mentality. So how dare they do that to him?
Well, he wasn't against that mob mentality and yelling at people during Sassie's book event, season 8.
With Katie, with Kristen. Oh, it just sounds like he's against it with guys.
Or his adjacent girl.
No, yeah. Also, how dare they do that to him? Because he's a martyr. He's amazing. How dare.
He didn't do anything for anybody to come after him.
He's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. He just wants to move on. So basically, the past 3 minutes or more have been me going through everything he has said that basically says he's the victim. Do we get that?
But he did say one time he did bring this on himself, so then that clears him from any.
Oh, for sure, responsibility. He just took accountability right there.
He just took accountability.
Who cares about all the other stuff he said?
Everybody else has to take care of theirs. He will make sure to list his accountability as long as the laundry list of everybody else's. Yeah.
So Lisa's basically like, can you shut the fuck up?
I was nervous because we know, post season filming that Lisa's apologetic for him, that I was worried she was gonna treat him with kid gloves here. But no. Thank God, Lisa. Thank God.
She goes, shut up. And he goes, no, you're attacking me. This is my life. This is my life. I'm not living my rock star dreams. It's work. And I went, no one asked about it. I'm sorry. I must have missed.
Even if he didn't do any of this bad, why does he deserve to live a rock star life? Last time I checked, that wasn't in the Constitution for your rights.
I also deserve that.
Live a rock star life.
And then Lisa's like, oh my God, just have some remorse and sensitivity. And he goes, I do. But then if I cry, I get told it's crocodile tears. And I battled with suicide. And this is where Lisa goes, what? Listen.
She immediately switched. And I understand. Her a lot more now.
Mm-hmm. I understand this is very sensitive to Lisa. This is very sensitive to a lot of people.
I don't want this for him either.
This is serious. I hope he is not using this.
Yeah.
Because the way it was dropped was very rando.
I think this seriously happened, but I think right in that conversation, it was dropped as a
stop being mean to me.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think she was being mean to him.
No, she wasn't.
But that's really quickly going back to that. The way he perceives any holding him accountable or any rebuttal to comments he has as being mean to him and attacking him is truly insane to me.
Yes.
But it makes me really sad. But it doesn't shock me just because of everything that truly has gone down.
Yes. I'm not shocked. I am sad he has felt this way, to which I think then he needs to go get help if this is anything. Don't go to New Zealand to punish yourself.
That's not going to solve it.
No,
That actually makes me way more concerned. The only positive of that show is that you're constantly being recorded.
Yeah, but then if this is serious, he does need to get help. And if he doesn't get help, that shows me right? Or am I wrong? I feel like he would need help. I think it's hard. Understand.
If this is his first time dealing with it, I think it's really shocking and you don't know what to do.
That's also true.
I remember for me, the first time I ever had thoughts like that, I just felt weak and I felt like I was the problem. And so then getting help is really hard if that's the first time. You just don't really, you kind of know some outlets for you, but you don't really want to take them or you don't sometimes have energy to fix the problem, I'll say.
That's true. That's also very true. I myself have had thoughts, never serious enough.
Yeah. I haven't gone to taking action.
And I do have help. Mm-hmm. I hope he gets help because this is very...
He prioritizes his mental health no matter what, whether these thoughts have gone away or not. This is a really rough storm to be going through.
Yes.
Whether there's online hate or not, your whole life is being turned upside down. This is something to focus on you and not only where your character flaws are, but also riding out this storm and a lot of change. That's really hard.
Agreed. And I do think he needs to prioritize that.
Mm-hmm. And I grew a little bit of empathy for him because I can take away all the bad things he's done and see that even though, because we all cause a lot of our own problems too, it is really hard to deal, sit in the shit that you cause yourself and do it and battle through that. And so I do empathize that it is really hard, especially if you lose a lot of friends in it too. But I do know that he has friends and he has the means to better himself. And that's where my anger comes back at him, that he hasn't done anything.
I was going to say, that's it for me, is he hasn't done anything. Mm-hmm. Raquel is at least finding something I have more respect for her as she went to a facility where she's constantly watched, where she can ride out the storm, where she can learn things to help make her better, where she's putting distance between her and the problem.
Yeah.
In a way, I do respect her not coming to the show. I lose a little bit as she only talks about the show on her podcast, right? Yeah. It's just like you don't, but I do think she has taken more steps to get better than he has.
I agree.
But this hits Lisa very hard. Lisa lost her brother to suicide. She is very upset with Tom Sandoval because she said that he promised her that if he had those thoughts, he would call. Which I was like, Lisa, he barely got mental health. Like, why is he going to call you?
And like, you don't tell a lot of people. So, like, it's not like he's calling around every person who, like, commented, like, I hope you're okay. And he's calling them saying, I'm not okay. But I think this hits really far home for her.
It does.
And really scares her, and rightfully so. But this also shows me that, like, maybe why she's, like, asking for the public to move on is from such a different place. I think she is probably really scared for his mental health. But intervene in that way, you know, like...
I agree. I can see that. However, I think he just doesn't seem to want the hate to stop in a way.
Yeah.
Like him going on tour. And not only that, but like bringing up Raquel and Schwartz in his songs. Like, right? He's like playing into it. He launched a podcast now and he's like talking about it. And his joke is like, everyone hates Tom. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't seem like he's like, can you stop? My mental health is in jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So
very true.
Anyway, Lisa wants to help him move forward. He doesn't know if these people will be his friends, to which I said, if your mental health depends on it, maybe these aren't your friends. Maybe you need to start anew with new people.
Yeah, I think you do. I think
whatever.
The line is a little too deep in between you guys.
Yeah. So Lisa's like, you have to be sensitive going forward. Do you understand this? In this group, you must say yes. And he's like, yes. And so that's where this ends. Anyway, so we go shopping with Ariana and Lala really quick. They're going to go to See You Next Tuesday, and they love that James is sober. Ariana says she always liked James better sober, but she can't really tell him that because she drinks. And Lala's like, I love that. I was like, that's
so
me.
Many people used to shame James into trying to be sober, and it's like, who are you to tell him?
Yeah, you're just as drunk as him. Like, yeah, okay. But Lala says she agrees because even she can't really tell James to be sober. It has to be a decision he has to make. But Lala thinks being sober is beneficial to everyone, which I thought immediately of us. And I said, probably, but...
Oh my God. I already kind of knew that.
You're not wrong, but guess who's getting drunk on Saturday?
I just literally came off of a 5-day bender.
No, yeah, shout out. We know. Like, anyone who drinks knows that they'd be better sober. We know. We know.
Why do you think a shame spirals so hard after a weekend?
We don't need you to tell us. We got it. Thank you. Anyway, so we go out to eat with Katie and Scheana. We walk up to Scheana taking a selfie. Where else would we be?
That girl loves a selfie, and it was a good selfie.
A queen. Scheana and Katie used to be so close. I LOL'd literally so hard. You can never convince me that these two are friends.
I think they were better friends in season 5, or right before season 5. We just watched season 5, and like going off of the like Stassi debacle in season 2 where Katie wasn't friends with her, and like into Katie's wedding before it kind of got bad in that season. That's, I think, the best of friendship they've ever had.
Yeah, but
it's me that like in the last 2 years prior to Sandoval, they were ever friends.
I don't think they've ever really truly liked each other. I think it's like a Schwartz and Kate. Like, they never really liked each other.
Yeah. They wouldn't be friends if the show didn't exist.
Yes. No way.
That's exactly it.
They just bonded over the show and having zero other friends.
It's like having a friend in like one of your like school classes where you're like, well, we're both here.
It was that like Schwartz was around, so Katie was like, I should hang out because this Schwartz is hanging out. It was just like proximity.
Yes. Yeah. But in the fact that 11 years later, they're still trying to convince themselves
they're not
friends.
Yeah, they're never friends.
I'm like, guys, come on. We're all adults. We've all probably been in therapy. We can all admit that it's okay. We don't have to be besties. We can be friend group friends. I'm starting to realize that. You can be in the same friend group with people, and you don't need to be friends with them.
Okay, so Scheana feels like they both want to make it work this time around, though. So,
okay,
here's hoping.
And the narrator says, and they were not friends.
They still weren't friends. So Katie has a little date tomorrow. It's Kevin, the guitarist from the 27s that Scheana sings with. So that's who must be doing this cover of Good as Gold.
If this is on camera, this tells me this isn't real.
I can't wait to find out. They bonded over tequila because he doesn't know anything about tequila. So it was really Katie's time to shine.
And she was like, look at all these clips of me getting hammered.
That was so funny. I wish I could get a date from telling someone my most toxic qualities is me on tequila.
I basically did that with somebody on a dating app recently. They were like, I don't like wine. And I was like, it's something that makes me like the most emotional, but I love it.
I drink at least 4 bottles a night. Like, I wish Katie could be like, I actually have a deep love for tequila. Here's me yelling at my boyfriend for talking to the whore in there.
Here's me getting a drink poured on my head.
Here's me yelling at my boyfriend again. Oh, ex-husband, sorry. Here's me yelling at Scheana.
Like that's everything.
Kevin could Google Tequila Katie and find tons on the internet. That was awesome. The fact that
her nickname is Tequila Katie, it just sums it all up.
Katie's a queen. This is how she gets dates. I want to get dates like that.
I mean,
love it. Katie says, isn't it more fun to wing woman for me than for Schwartz? Haha, Scheana. And Scheana apologizes for inviting Schwartz to emo night. Katie doesn't really care whether he's there or not. Listen, Katie doesn't give a shit where Schwartz is. Couldn't care less.
That's the thing. Like,
he's not
her
bothering
overall goal
her.
is to not have him around, but like she will not make it like a massive problem in our deal because also then they'll point to Katie and Ariana, to be honest, and be like, wow, and like
we see it later. Your ego is in the group. Fuck you. Get out. So, Scheana, she feels bad when people are left out. I get this. I feel bad when people are left out. Yeah. This is my biggest trigger. I was going to say my most toxic quality, but
I don't feel that bad when it makes sense. You know, like everybody doesn't need to be at everything.
Fine. Sure.
I'm not trying to be exclusive with things, but it's okay to also want boundaries. Time with just like one person or like a trio or like, because the thing is, if that person also isn't reaching out to me, I really don't feel bad. Like the phone works both ways.
That's what Scheana eventually has come to the realization of, is it's not leaving someone out. It's more setting a boundary, and like figuring out who she wants in her life and then mirroring her actions to that, right? So if she wants Katie and Ariana in her life, that means no Schwartz and Sandoval. So it's just like figuring that out.
Well, at certain events, I still don't think Ariana and Katie would really like, well, especially with Schwartz stuff. I don't think Katie would be like, you can never hang out with Schwartz. But like inviting him to emo night, they're like, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, because it's like a smallish group. But also, Katie's she doesn't want Schwartz in her circle. So she's not going to tell Scheana shit that she might tell Schwartz, because Sheena's already done that, right?
That's the thing. You also, like, Scheana has to build up some trust again. Like,
so that's what Sheena's realizing, where she's like, these are the people I want. These are the people I cannot have if I want these other people.
Her friendships with people.
Yeah,
so realize too.
So my girl's realizing it. Look at Scheana with the growth.
I mean, I don't have much faith in her.
I have so much love. It's blinding my reality.
I know, but do you believe she's actually going to like follow this path and do this?
I don't have any expectations with Scheana because I just get disappointed, you know?
Yeah, so no, I understand.
If the bar is low, I love everything she does.
True. I have a full faith that she will do absolutely
Like, if I was hoping for good music from Scheana, I'd be disappointed by the Good as Gold emo cover. But because I expect nothing, this is a great thing to have in my roster. You know,
true. I mean, I really didn't think I would get to see her perform that this
many amazing, times right? You expected nothing, and you saw, and you were like gladly surprised. Expect nothing.
Gladly maybe is a bit too far.
You'll never be disappointed. So then we go to Vanderpump Dogs. Schwartz is bringing his 2 dogs for grooming. That will take 2 hours. So in those 2 hours, he's going to talk to Lisa for a little bit. We find out that Schwartz's brother was rushed to the hospital yesterday. Bert is a very big drinker. He was even in rehab a few times.
Which, like...
Wow, whoa, heavy. Way to drop, because we know Bert. We know Bert.
He never spoken about any of this until the reunion when he was like, I was dealing with a lot. Like... Whoa!
Yeah, that is a lot for sure. So I guess Bert got jumped outside a bar and then was never the same, and he developed a dependency on alcohol, which is very scary.
This is my nosy question. Do you think the other triplets, the 2 others, went to the bars with him and just didn't drink as much?
I don't know. I don't know how Bert got jumped because listen, as a woman, I fear for my life all the time, especially at bars at night. However, I find it not crazy when like men get jumped, but I'm like, this is insane. They're just after everyone out here. But Bert's
like, also, I want more details. Like, were you alone?
Why were they? But like, why was he jumped? For his wallet? Was Bert like in a fight? Did this guy? Was he just a psycho? Mm-hmm. What was happening? I have to know.
I know.
What do men fear outside bars? I have to know.
With negative events, I just have this need to know more.
I have to know everything.
Yeah.
So then I know what to look out for, obviously.
Yeah, because I can protect myself with thoughts.
I say as I protect nothing. I can't even do a push-up. I would be screwed.
But yes, we can. Nobody come after us. We can do push-ups.
I could do really
4. We would fight them off. We're trying to make sure the people know.
I have pepper spray. I feel, and a mouth on me, okay? I would scream fire until the cows came home. So... we talk about Schwartz and Sandy's. Schwartz obviously did not see this backlash of Sandoval in his future, so his bar is obviously struggling. Lisa says she doesn't think the punishment befits the crime. And also, Ariana's moving on. So, like, the fact that Sandoval's still getting a lot of hate is, like, again, it's only 3 months.
And he really hasn't. Like, we talked about, he did all that stuff on the road. In the future here, he's starting a podcast. Like, I didn't even think about that, Alicia. Like, he is stirring this pot just as much as any other cast member.
He wants to monetize off of it.
Yeah.
So, Lisa brings up how Sandoval has some dark thoughts. Schwartz found out through other people that Sandoval was having these thoughts.
That shocks me a little bit more than Lisa.
That does. Mm-hmm. So Lisa's very scared about this. She would rather, and I get this, I totally feel this. She would rather be foolish for reaching out to someone than the alternative when it comes to suicide. And I agree. I
agree.
Swallow your pride and reach out.
Also, the way to support someone, it's not an all or nothing. Like, you give them like all of your unending support and like positive remarks, or nothing. Like,
you can
support someone in their mental health and them getting better without like sitting on stage at BravoCon being like, you guys all need to end this.
You can also say, I am here for you as a friend. I love you. I don't want anything like terrible to happen to you. However, I don't agree with your actions. And I think you do need to like better yourself and take accountability for what you've done. I think you could do both. Anyway, so Lisa suggests getting everyone together with Sandoval. Like, instead of going to a local bar, let's go to Lake Tahoe where she's opening a new restaurant. Let's all travel together.
Hard at this pitch. And it's like, okay, listen, producers, you really could have set this up a different way.
Also, listen, of course Ariana and Katie aren't going to want to go travel with their 2 exes who treated them very badly.
Too. This is not like the end of the season where like things have gotten better.
We couldn't go to the beach or something. Like, we have to go to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
My God. So Schwartz says he doesn't want to force it, but he does want to get the group back together. And Lisa's like, probably not Ariana, but that's fine. We'll just cut her. I'm like, okay.
The way Sandoval's presence means more than Ariana's to
also
Lisa,
weird.
Annoying. And then Schwartz just being like, I want to get the band back together. This isn't like
want to hang
two
out.
of your friends had like a political argument and can maybe even come together. Like, he cheated on her and lied to her, and you knew the whole time.
Yeah. She's... It's not all forgiven. It's only been 3 months. It's not all forgiven.
Fucking with her because he like won't sell the house with her. He won't just like do the gentlemanly thing.
He won't
like,
leave her alone. He goes on a TV show. Schwartz keeps pushing. She just can't have a moment of peace.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Like, and all these
Anne's always around the corner.
All the accolades she's getting does not like fix this problem that he made. Like, it definitely like helps, you know, better her life and bring in money. But like, this is not just a Band-Aid you can put on a bullet wound.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got a Duracell commercial, so all's forgiven.
Yeah.
It's like, she still has the trauma of maybe like not being able to trust.
Cheated on for like if you were in a relationship for 1 year, but not 9.
9 years is right. And a house together. My God. Okay, so it's now time for See You Next Tuesday at Sir. Schwartz is wearing the ugliest shirt he could find in his closet, but he ironed it. So
fashionable is so funny.
That's great. He also really wasn't invited. He's just popping in, but you know what? He loves See You Next Tuesday.
I loved this. I actually thought this was so funny. He was like, I'm just going to stop.
He's like, I have no other plans. The dogs are still getting groomed at this point.
This is what you do when you want the gang back together. You just show up places and you try to get your
by yourself. He needs to get back in the band before he brings the band back together.
Yes. Yeah. You need to be on normal terms with every single person in the group before you could ever bring in the villain.
Should call that guy Jason. He's a band manager. He could probably get the band together. No?
No.
So Schwartz got Lala a matcha shot because he's sober curious. And Lala's like, the fuck is sober curious? But then Allie says, I'm also sober curious. And Lala doesn't know what this is. I know what sober curious is because I'm sober curious, and I'm curious how it would be to be sober, but I'm not.
That's the thing. I literally was like, that's so funny because this is such a buzzword now, but all that means is I drink casually still.
I drink and I can't be sober, but I would wonder if my life would be better. And I know it would, but I'm not going to do it.
I'm sober curious in that like maybe 2 times a year I'm with people who are drinking and I choose not to.
Yeah, but like just to see how my life would end up for a day.
Yeah. But like maybe if I was on antibiotics, I'd actually follow the doctor's orders and not drink.
Yeah, if Lala could just accept sober curious vocabulary, that'd be great. Thank you.
We need a buzzword to say we're still drinking, but we're like, we're okay.
We're just drinking. What?
Nobody likes to just say I'm binge drinking anymore, so instead we say we're sober curious.
We're binge drinking, but we love the idea of being sober.
And for you.
So Schwartz was working the group. Totally had him eating out of the palm of his hand.
He doesn't know how to like ease himself into this group. He's throwing. I guess Katie and Ariana are not here yet though, so he can kind of do this. With
I was about to say this is ruined when his ex-wife and his ex-best friend's ex-girlfriend walk through the door. And Schwartz is like, hey, welcome. Would you like my seat?
And he turns into such a bitch. He's like, so great to see you.
Such a simp. Such a simp. He's like, do you want my seat? And then they've already sat down. He goes, oh, you already got a seat. And they're like, ew.
They're like, Katie, what are you talking to me?
Both their faces are literally like, who the fuck are you to be here? Why would we sit in your stinky ass seat? We made our friends move to give us their seat.
You are invisible to me. Do not interact with me.
I love how Scheana got up to give her seat to them because they wouldn't take Schwartz. They kicked their friend out. They were like,
you will not even get the opportunity to do anything nice for me. Because that's the thing is like, Sandoval would definitely then use it against you. Schwartz would like throw it back in your face like 3 months later.
Well, Ariana can just say, I'm not going to sit on your stale farts, Schwartz. I'm going to get my fresh seat. Thank you so much. Fuck you. So Schwartz is going to go, he's going to go mingle because Katie definitely scares the shit out of him. He's gone. No one takes his seat, by the way. It's still open. James is at the DJ booth. Schwartz joins him. Schwartz is like, hey, so I ran into Lisa and she said that she was going to Tahoe and I invited myself and she said, no, come and bring everyone. So I'm inviting everyone. And James says, is Sandoval going? And Schwartz says, I'm inviting everyone in the group. Can't say yes or no. You're just going to have to find out. So James says, listen, I'm not going to let this fool get me angry. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Lake Tahoe on a free Bravo vacation. Obviously, that is what this is. So he's like, whatever. And I'm like, do it, dude. Do your thing. So then Sandoval walks in with Kyle. Great. Wow, glad he showed his face. I'm amazed.
I was scared, though. I thought he was going to go sit down with the group.
I thought so, too. Because he says he's ready to be apologetic and humble. Mm-hmm. But instead, he gets brought to this... Listen, I don't know the layout of Sir. I'll never figure it out.
This random two-top.
This table is where the servers, I think, go. Because the thing to punch in orders is right behind Kyle's head.
There's probably a few of those, like... in the restaurant, but yeah, like
there were no other tables around. It was like in between.
There were a few. There were a few
behind, but this I think was a hallway originally because it goes from like the restaurant to the bar. They're sitting like in a walkway.
He's not really in See You Next Tuesday, you know, like not in that room. Again, I don't really know the layout. We've never been to Sir.
I saw a tweet that was literally like meeting for 10 years trying to figure out the layout of Sir. And
why can't Bravo just give us the layouts of like the restaurants,
the blueprints
we see, and then for like Summer House, I need the layouts of the houses.
Release the blueprints. You have them. I know you do.
I don't give a shit about the reunion seating chart getting that a week before the reunion happens. I want the fucking layouts of these houses.
It's been 10 years and I still don't know which way to go in this restaurant. I don't even know where the bathroom is.
I used to know it more. I like know where some pieces are in relation to some others.
I only know the back of Sir. That is, but to me, it's like
snakes and ladders. Where like randomly somebody will just pop out from something, and I'm like, that's connected.
The only thing I know is the back of Sir. When you like walk back into the restaurant, that's the kitchen. Yes, so to get to the back of Sir, you go through the kitchen,
and there's some bathrooms back there.
Yes, that's all I know. Yes. That's all I can tell you. And then there's a parking lot.
I do know that there is a bar off the garden section.
Sure. Great. I love that for you. Anyway, explain the garden to me.
That I don't know where the hell that is. This is the bar. Things. I think it's closer to the back of Sir because there used to be yelling back in the day. Remember whenever that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills
scene happened? No, I'll never get the layout. I remember it happened. Still don't ask me how it's happening.
That's all the puzzle pieces I can put together right
the intern who has been put on this gets lost all the time. He has no idea where he's going in Sir, and I get that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so Sandoval and Kyle are sitting separately from the group. This is the first time Sandoval's been here in a long time. He hasn't really talked to anyone. Kyle brings up how Scheana did reach out and tried to talk to him, and he said it was just bad timing with all the podcasts getting released. So then you'll never guess who walks up to Sandoval's table. I'll tell you, it's Jesse, the server that we've gotten for 10 years.
He is also serving the other group, I believe. They have that man mic'd.
He is in his Sir jacket, which I've never seen a Sir jacket before. As part of the uniform.
And not Raquel in this way, but the new like connection to Sir of like why this all makes sense.
Yeah, it's Jesse, who we know is a background character.
He better be getting like Peter's rate to show up on this show.
I hope Peter makes more than Jesse. Jesse was ridiculous.
Speaking of, we didn't get Peter.
We didn't get Peter, and I'm so sad because I'm waiting for my Peter spotting.
I mean...
Anyway, so Jesse, he walks over. He's like, hey. It's more awkward than Anne, let me tell you. Hey, I've been worried about you, Sandoval. I wanted to talk to you. And I go, he's giving guy that got kicked out of the group from Katie at Sandoval's party. Remember that guy? Yeah. This is what Jesse's giving, where he's like, I wanted to talk to you, but I was in the group, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just weird. Like, I don't know why. We're, like, forcing a conversation with Sandoval to, like, make the show make sense. And I'm like...
Like, does Jesse care? Does he not?
I don't believe he does.
He's getting paid. So Sandoval's like, yeah, bad stuff happened to me. And Jesse's like, listen, I just didn't want to be attached to all that. So that's why I unfollowed you on Instagram.
Which, like...
Yeah, digging in deeper, Jesse. Let him fucking know.
But then the way Sandoval, like, apologizes to him, I'm like... Yeah. This is such bullshit.
Yeah, Sandoval's like, I feel so bad that people are getting hate from me. And they hug. I can't tell if Jesse's crying a little. Basically, I hated this whole conversation. I couldn't be happier when Jesse disappeared.
I know, but then like Sandoval's like sobbing at his table. And I'm like, you care so much about Jesse unfollowing you and aren't mad at him. He does not get angry at Jesse at all for like the unfollowing comment. And you are so apologetic for what this has done to Jesse.
Other people.
Why can't you show any of that? Like that's what tells me
Ariana,
this is so fake.
to Schwartz, to Scheana,
to Schwartz.
To
he
Lala,
does not even give
Katie.
the same energy to Schwartz, somebody he does actually care about.
To James, like no one. He doesn't even give it to Schwartz.
It's insane to me.
It's crazy. Instead, he sat with Schwartz at dinner or lunch and was like, I was going through a lot and you just went on Jax's podcast. He couldn't just be like, Schwartz even said, all you had to do was say you're sorry. And he's like, yes. I'm sorry.
It's just so fake. Like, that's the thing. He knows what he quote unquote should be doing. What will make him look good. Because he'll do it sometimes. But he doesn't actually believe in the actions that he's doing. So then that's when they come off so fake. Like going back to the conversation with Lisa, he's like, everybody tells me like, it's not true. It's not authentic. Because it's not. The one time you do it, you're not consistent in your behavior. So we know you're not being authentic with these apologies.
It's also doing something like this and being like, I feel so bad. I'm so sad. But then when talking to Lisa, being like, I'm the victim. Everyone's coming at me. People should love me. What are they talking about? I'm hurt. It's just like, it's exhausting, honestly.
And you shouldn't have to be told to like lead with compassion and
I'm exhausted already. If this is how the season is going, I'm exhausted. Anyway, we cut back to the group, thank God. And Schwartz, he's like, hey, I'm just going to squeeze into the combo. Katie's the scariest person I've ever met. I've never met her. She hates Schwartz. She's like, what are you doing here, you stupid pest?
I love this dynamic. I think
I love Schwartz.
It's so fun.
It's so funny. So Schwartz is like, hey, everyone, we should go to Tahoe. Tells him the same thing they told James or whatever, or he told James. And Katie's like, are you inviting us to Tahoe? And he's like, I'm inviting everyone to Tahoe. Well, I'm inviting everyone to Tahoe, including you know who, because I'm inclusive. I'm the best. And Ariana's like, so I'm not going to be near you or my ex. How about that? And Schwartz is like, but you're already near him because you live with him. It's like, no.
That's the thing. He uses her choice not to leave the house against her.
I also thought he was joking. Like he thought it'd like diffuse the situation a little if he was like.
No, I think he's being very serious.
Rough. So Lala's like, why do you feel like you should stand by Sandoval's side? Like after all he's done to you. And Schwartz says they have a beautiful friendship. And yeah, it is strained, but it's beautiful. And Lala's like, listen, the day will come when you see it and you realize you should have gotten rid of him and it will devastate you. Lala's being really nice about it because
I know. I was visualizing this moment. I'm like,
I saw it happen in front of me like it already happened, let's say, at the reunion when he realized I should have cut this dude, you know?
Well, and none of these people are going to be around Schwartz and like his friend if he continues to be with Sandoval. Like if the group continues to hate Sandoval and Schwartz continues to stick by him, like the divide between Schwartz and the group is going to grow larger.
And he's like when Sandoval
fucks you over,
you'll have no one. Yeah. So Ariana says she gave up on Schwartz, like to his face. She's like, I gave up on you and my life's better for it. So good luck. Good luck to anyone that tries to help you too, because it's all going to fall on deaf ears. How about that?
That Ariana is still a no on the Schwartz train. Like, the consistency in her being upset, I need that consistency from her, from Schwartz, because like Schwartz still has not like on camera sat down and like apologized to her.
That was also awesome. She's like, I don't have a relationship with you, so any invite you give me, immediate no. Also, I'm not gonna wish you like any kind of help because you're not gonna take it. Why am I gonna waste my breath, basically? Mm-hmm. So good luck to you and your stupid life. And I love that. And Schwartz says, don't speak on behalf of the group because you're not queen of the group and your ego's a little big. And this is where Katie goes, shut the fuck up. She can speak if she wants to because that's how we feel.
But also, she didn't speak for the group. She never spoke for the group.
No, she said,
I don't have a relationship with
you. I feel bad for anyone who tries to help you is what she said. Yeah. She goes, I feel bad for this group then.
She never once said, we as a group dislike you and dislike Sandoval and we will never be around you. She said,
Schwartz hates women. He's like, you're not queen of the group. Your ego's a little big.
Well, notice how her not wanting to be around Sandoval is the problem. Not Sandoval doing a bad thing and hurting people.
And not being remorseful. Mm-hmm. Fine, he did a bad thing. I can move on. He hurt people. I can move on. It's the fact that he does not seem to care that he hurt people.
Other people having a reaction is the problem. It reminds me of like the Taylor Swift interview where like she was like, men get to react, women only get to overreact.
Yeah, that is exactly what. And Ariana is not even yelling. She's just basically like, shut the fuck up.
I will not be going.
Go invite people not around me. How about that? Like, I don't want to hear you. So yeah, I love Katie saying she can talk if she wants to because that's how we feel. I'll speak. Katie will speak for the group, and Schwartz isn't gonna go against Katie because he knows how that'll end in divorce. Like, listen. So Ariana says she doesn't want to see her. If she doesn't want to see her ex, she literally doesn't have to. And this reminds me, one time I really didn't want to go to something. I got invited. I really didn't want to go. It was giving me anxiety. And my friend looked at me and goes, the best part about being an adult is if you don't want to do something, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's what this reminded me of. She has a choice. She doesn't have to. Bye.
Be the right amount of selfish for yourself. Like,
yeah,
we need don't ever go overboard and like hurt people. But like,
if you're not hurting people, happy. Do you?
No. But I'm just saying, like, we can sometimes be really people can be really selfish and hurt other people.
Yeah, if you're not hurting people.
Yeah.
Do you? I don't care how selfish you are. Yeah, fuck yeah.
You.
Schwartz then is like, I just missed the group dynamic. And Ariana goes, well, Sandoval ruined it. So
yes. Blame him. I understand the like not liking how things are right now, but blame the right person. It is not Ariana's fault.
It's not Ariana's ego. It's not her being queen of the group.
It's not her job to like fix it either. Like just to say yes.
She shouldn't have to compromise her boundary to make you like the group better. Like that's insane. Especially
and guess what?
She didn't do anything.
If you were worried about this, you would have made sure that none of this happened or you like prevented the group dynamic if you really cared about the group dynamic.
You probably would have told Ariana what was happening. So Katie basically says, you need to release yourself from the torture you have been under, aka Sandoval. And man, all I thought was, I never want to go up against Ariana and Katie. They could do anything to me and I would bow my head and walk away gracefully. I never want to go off against
I already can't wait for the reunion.
I used to think Lala was the scariest one in this group. Nuh-uh, it is this duo. It is this take no prisoners, bad bitch era for these two together. I am so scared. I can't wait. So.
Can't wait.
James is like, I'm out. I'm going to go back to DJing. Thank you so much. Sandoval tells Kyle how shit always hits the fan at Sir. And then Scheana on cue says, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And this is why I think she didn't even know this table existed because she's walking past it, doesn't even notice them. To which Sandoval goes, hey, Scheana, I didn't even recognize you. And she turns with her glasses on.
Stare, like, what do you want?
She's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
A weird amount of silence. Like, he doesn't say anything next because he probably thinks she's going to be like, hey, how are you? No, we are not like that.
She just stares at him, doesn't know what to do. I literally wrote, so they just stare at each other.
I wish she would have gone and, like, I literally was waiting for her to go, like,
something. Can I help you?
Yeah.
But he asked to talk to her, and she says, not here. And then she goes, I'll meet you out back. And then she's basically like, I don't even know what the fuck this combo is going to do, but Ariana's my best friend, so we'll just see. I also would do this for the plot, so I could then tell Ariana what was said.
I was going to ask you how you felt about her accepting this conversation.
I'm not mad at her accepting this conversation. I do like how she was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll meet you in the back. I'm not going to do it here where people are going to see. I'm not going to do that. I also, just like as a high level, think Scheana handled the situation properly. But man, would I go back and be like, guys, you'll never guess what the fuck just happened to me. Why do you think I was gone so long? You thought I was taking a shit? No, I was in the back of Sir.
I appreciate it equally of like Lala texting Raquel, episode 1.
For the plot.
We got a show to make. Like, at first I'm like, Scheana, what are you doing? And then I'm like, we got a show to make.
I think, though, it's all about how you handle it, right? Mm-hmm. Scheana goes back to the group, goes, you'll never guess what the fuck happened to me.
Yeah.
Great. Be really open about it.
Yeah.
100%. Don't be like, I had this combo and I'm only going to talk about it with Brock. No, the whole group's got to find out what happened. So, we go to the back of Sir, which is where it all happens. He got Scheana vodka soda, and she's like, thanks, but I'm actually 3 weeks sober. So waste your money.
This is when I'll be sober curious for real.
If Sandoval buys you a drink, I'd be like,
deny someone. Like someone I hate to be like, oh, I don't drink anymore.
I would actually take the drink and like dump it and like give it back and be like, nice try though. I'm actually not around alcohol right now. So Sandoval says he had a weird feeling she wasn't drinking tonight for some reason. And then, what a weird thing to say.
The way, like, he feels like he should be applauded for somehow guessing, but he didn't actually guess. Because if you thought she wasn't drinking, why would you bring her a drink?
I knew it deep in my bones, but I still decided to go against it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to test you.
Then they sit in silence. Like the one we just gave you. Wasn't that lovely? But it was longer and more awkward.
Again, so why did you ask me to talk? I hate when people on shows do this, though, where they ask someone to talk and then they don't have something to talk about.
They don't talk first. Like, I'm just here to listen to you.
Yeah, you asked me here.
So he says, this is his opening. You look like you rode in on a Shania Twain motorcycle.
Again, and...
Scheana literally goes, thank you. The fuck is that?
I was worried she was going to get so excited about her outfit. She was going to like be bubbly. And like,
I was a little worried. She just goes, I was going for Y2K. And Sandoval goes, I knew it because this is a Y2K sweater. It's just a sweater, by the way. This is a Y2K sweater. I found it in Ali's bedroom. What a way to bring that up. You could just said you texted me, but okay.
What? Am I in the Twilight Zone? And
this was the weirdest thing I ever had to watch.
This shows me that other people truly carry the conversation along when conversing with Sandoval.
He's ridiculous. So then Scheana goes, I like how she's not even like bullshitting. She's like, yeah, you blocked me when I reached out about that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I wasn't in a good place. And I felt like you were doing it just to say that you did it, which is also you have to think badly of a person if you think that's why they're reaching out to you.
And to say that on camera.
Which is what Scheana says. She's like, you obviously don't know me then.
If it had just been like his mom was in the hospital, like something not like serious, but like was going to be okay, it would make more sense to me.
Well, not to them. I was going to say if your pet dies, but Meredith and I don't have pets, so we don't know. Yeah. But like, it would be something like your house got broken into when you weren't home.
Like a little bit more minor, like I agree with him. Like it would come off a little bit like, why are you reaching out to me? But I feel like the death of someone that Scheana knew. It's not just like some random person in his orbit.
Yeah.
And Scheana doesn't know him. Like, the fact that a lot of these people knew Ollie, like, I just feel like he is trying to use their kindness against him.
Yeah, it's very shitty.
It's gross.
It was a shitty thing to say, which Scheana does say.
And it's not his first time really, like, saying, like, dancing around this type of comment either.
Yeah, to which, okay, so Scheana says, like, I thought you would know me better than that. And he goes, see, everything I say, I'm evil. And Sheena's like, well, you have to be, like, honest and remorseful.
But, like, you just basically said she was evil. So why is you, like...
Why is her calling you out on that then evil for you? Nothing.
Like, you get to criticize her, but he can never be criticized.
No, that's the whole... That's his
the whole point of this game. That's the whole point of this world. That's the way
he's programmed from his factory. How are people in St. Louis made? Are they all like that? I'm just kidding.
I mean... Don't look at me now.
What a person to claim.
I mean, listen, thank God no, it's not about people in St. Louis. It's astrological charts. Everybody born on his birthday with his time. Get off my birth chart.
So, Sheena's like, you have to be honest and remorseful from the beginning. And if you had done that, you could have had a better outcome.
Yeah.
Into like what your life is right now.
We want to question everything you do. You gave us things to question and now we don't trust you.
To which he's like, of course I handled it like shit, but we can't live in the past, Scheana. And I was literally like, didn't you just bring up 10 years ago with James the other day? Like, what the fuck? We're living in the current. It's the present. What are you talking about? It happened 3 months ago.
This is why I wish Andy was better at reunions, because like I want that to be discussed. Is like, why does like the back and forth Sandoval ends up having, but with multiple people, so you can't really call him out exactly in the moment. Like if James had been sitting there, James would have said like, you just brought up 10 years ago, but like Sheena's not going to do that.
Scheana forgot that was mentioned.
It's hard to be quick on your feet about like that type of stuff.
When you just hear other things. If it happened to you, you could be quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Sheena's basically like, just don't double down. Just be sorry. It's very easy. And he says, I've apologized to you. Like, remember at your house on your couch? And Scheana goes, it's not just me though. And Sandoval jumps up. Well, not jumps up, but like throws his hands. He says, I would love to talk to Ariana because she's not being vindictive enough. She has every right to come after me, but she doesn't get off on that shit. She doesn't want to see me get dragged. And I was like, wait, let's unpack. You want to talk to her because she's not hating you enough. But meanwhile, you're the victim and you're getting all this hate.
And and you're mad that she won't just sell you the house. Like she wants you to sell it outright.
Also, this is why I know he's all bullshit, because he went on to Nick Viall's podcast and literally said that she's being too vindictive and too petty.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
He comes with an agenda, tries to play it out. It doesn't go how he wants. And then he just tries to spin it on everyone else.
Also, What do you mean she doesn't want to see you get dragged? Of course she fucking does.
I think publicly she would say she's apathetic. She's not even paying attention. So
that's true.
This argument is...
She doesn't care if you get dragged. How about
regardless of what side, if you're being dragged too much or not enough. Like she doesn't care.
So Scheana goes, nobody wants to see like you get dragged, I guess. And he's like, what about your podcast? And she goes, I agree. And that's why at a certain point we stopped talking about it. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, great. Scheana recognized her wrong and stopped talking about it.
Honestly, for the cast, once they picked up cameras again, I think they stopped talking about it.
Yeah, she's like, we stopped.
They all want it on the show. Like, we'll drag you on the show now.
It's easier. But yeah, she's like, we stopped. And Scheana tells him, like, you have to humble yourself and maybe, like, leave Schwartz and Raquel's names out of your songs and, like, put the mics down.
I'm so happy she brought up his stuff because, like, why are they allowed to, like, allude to it and talk about it, but, like, or they're in trouble.
They're not allowed.
but he can, use it as
say
fodder.
Schwartz's mom and like Raquel loves me on stage. So Scheana tells him everything he's doing is textbook narcissist. And he's like, no, actually, you should look up the definition because that's not what that is. And she goes, also, a narcissist would never admit to being a narcissist. So if the shoe fits, And he jokes, he goes, and that's why Lala will never admit to being a narcissist. And I was like, deflect. Just deflect a little
What
harder.
does Lala have to do with this entire conversation? What? You can't just sit there and be like, hey, just not that he needs to take everything, but for one moment, he can't just take a comment.
No. And also, bro, that's her best friend. And what did you do? You ended the conversation because Scheana's like, okay, well, like Lala's not, so I'm going home to my daughter. Like, my advice to you is to humble yourself, but no one wishes you harm, so bye.
I'm happy she took that moment where he truly did like attack someone else, especially someone unrelated to their conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, this is my limit.
We're
not
done.
doing it.
We're done. Like, and I love that she added, no one wishes you harm. So like, stop being the victim. No one cares actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandoval's like, you should know, by the way, after that Nima interview, I had to talk Raquel down. So you should know you did harm. And Scheana goes, well, Raquel said all that. So it's just being publicized.
Yep.
So this is where we find out.
So she's in her facility. Why does she know anything about it?
Okay. Also something to talk about. Anyway, so in the finale from season 10, Scheana mentioned to Ariana, when Ariana was very sad, that someone told Scheana that Raquel said that Sandoval had told her that Ariana and Sandoval had an open relationship. Then Scheana was being dragged because everyone thought this was just a rumor Scheana made up. So she brought on the person that told Scheana this, which was Nima. So Nima said this.
I didn't realize all that.
Yeah, so Nima said this on the podcast and like was like
cleared it up that he was
Raquel really did tell me that.
And I'm the one who told Scheana. Like, this didn't just come out of nowhere.
I heard it from Raquel. Whether Sandoval said it or not, who knows? But Raquel said it. So now it's being called out. Now, Raquel is in a facility. So the only way she could know about this is if Sandoval told her.
Not the only. No. Like her family could have told her.
Okay.
Like, someone had to
bring
it to her.
The outside had to tell her.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sandoval then says, is it really your business if she said it? And Scheana goes, if it comes at my character, then yes. Which I was like, get it.
Yes.
So then Sandoval says, it wouldn't have been an issue if you had never brought it up. And Scheana says, it wouldn't have been an issue if you didn't fuck Raquel. Bye. Which I was like, so yes. True. Why are you blaming Scheana for an issue that, like, if you had never fucked Raquel, none of this would have. How about that? Like, stop blaming people.
It is truly insane to me.
It's insane, right? So Sandoval feels the loss of Scheana's friendship. He then stands up as cameras are on him, and he does a big shrug in the back of Sir, like, oh, who knows what to do?
I tried.
She's just crazy.
Like, I came and I humbled myself.
And then we get a Big Brother slow-mo, like, out in the last few episodes. You know how Big Brother slows it all down?
Yeah.
That's what we get is he's, like, leaving the back of Sir. And then we get a suicide prevention note at the end, which, please, if you ever have thoughts of suicide, please reach out to help. And
there's
we
a
don't
lot
get
of sources for you, and your family does care.
Yes.
Family and friends care about you.
We care about you, so even reach out to anyone. We can help you find help.
Yeah.
We didn't get a next time on, did we?
I wonder if they just really wanted to focus on the suicide prevention.
Okay, cool. So we didn't get a next time.
Yeah, I didn't see one.
I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So should we do accepted and blocked?
Oh God, yeah. I must have fun, not fun. That's a different show.
Check out Summer House releasing next week sometime. Like there's only so many people to block.
Okay, I'm going Schwartz. I can't with the like you think you're the queen of this group. Listen, do I kind of think she may have that mentality? Maybe, but like the fact that in that conversation she was not saying anything from the group's perspective really fires me up.
Agreed. Agreed.
I really want Schwartz to like humble himself and stop thinking he's somebody who can bring this group together.
He's not. He's never been the glue. He's never been the glue.
Well, you've never been the glue. You cannot be the glue right now. Like,
no. I'm obviously blocking Sandoval. We don't even have to. Just duh. Anyway, so who are you accepting? A lot of great people. A lot of greats.
I'm gonna give it to Scheana.
Yeah, my little Shishi.
I mean, a performance and roasting Schwartz or Sandoval. I love it.
I really loved it. I'm gonna go. Listen, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go with Ariana. I was gonna go with Katie. I just like the two of them. I think there are going to be plenty of opportunities to accept Katie in the future as Ariana. I also agree. But I like how she said basically like, if I don't have to do something, I'm not, or if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. These are my boundaries. I'm sticking to it. He's the one that fucked it up, not me. So don't come for me.
Don't bring your anger to me for something he caused.
Bad bitch. And I love it. Okay. Should we get into our thoughts? Please, God, get me through this. Let me take a sip of water.
Please, God. Give her some small words. We got this.
Okay, Courtney says, James is definitely number one guy in the group. Agreed. This one was not the best episode, but it did fill us in on where they are. Tom's B-Day, a.k.a. pity party, was lame and didn't bring me joy. And I'd be concerned if it did, Courtney, let me tell you. Okay, Tonette said, Tom Sandoval leads a pity party, woe is me life, and it's so sad to watch. I never knew it was possible for someone to have the ability, let alone wanting to stick their own head so far up their own ass. Tom Sandoval is a very, very selfish man. Agreed.
I mean, and we see it like in a spotlight now, you know, seeing that party is like the personification of his sad life.
Agreed. Tonette also says the Toms are different humans, that's for sure. But in life, you just have to meet people where they are. Ariana would be able and maybe willing to share Lake Tahoe with Tom Sandoval if she wasn't sharing a whole address with him. The spite and anger ain't worth my mental health. Ariana would be happier if she would release the ripcord / tumor named Tom Sandoval. Ariana, grab all your pets, get the hell out of Dodge, and don't look back. Anything less than that is uncivilized.
And not 3 months after. Like,
agreed.
In a year's time, like, let's talk about where
like
Ariana
now they should move out. My God.
I still can't believe they own that house together.
Okay, and Tonette's last comment is, I can't believe Scheana had the audacity to tell Tom to put the mic down. Seriously? Hey, Pot, this is Kettle. You're black. No! Tonette! How dare you? Scheana's making art out here. He is just doing covers. She is creating something. She is giving us her world. Have you ever heard Shake That, Tonette? That's a classic.
No comment.
I will fight to the deaths. Good as Gold is one of the best party songs I have ever heard in my life. You've never had a good day in your life.
Not to talk to you about music, Alicia.
How dare you, Tonette? No, that was worse than last week what I read. My God. So, Lauren says, I'm going to start with the positive. Katie joking about her knowledge of tequila was the highlight of the episode. Great. That was awesome. Now the not positive.
Or a peak.
Damn it, Lauren. You only had one positive? All right. So the not positive. Objectively, anyone who discusses thoughts of harming themselves should be taken seriously. And I think that explains Lisa defending him so much. But everything Tom Sandoval has done over the past 2 years has felt fake. I don't believe anything he's saying, particularly when he's trying to deflect or garner sympathy. He constantly feels like he's acting, and we've long established that none of these actors can act. You're right. You know what? That's what I was trying to say, and you really did it eloquently. Well, thank you so much.
He's being sincere when he's like attacking people.
Oh, yeah. When people show you who they are, you should believe them. Wow.
But yeah, you're right. Those acting skills have not increased in the last 11 years.
Never forget when he went to Villa Rosa and cried against the window. That was acting at its finest.
That's something I'm trying to kick out of my brain from living rent-free.
We can't. We watched it and we talked about it. It's forever in our brains. So, 2, the final scene with Tom Schwartz was obviously set up by producers to establish the Tahoe trip. Oh my God, Lauren. Yeah, for sure.
Well, to establish the Tahoe trip where Sandoval comes.
Oh, we got to get it together. He was working the storyline. Ariana felt like she was letting him know that no storyline was going to change the way she felt about him. And I don't blame her. She only recently saw the scene he filmed with Sandoval for season 10, setting her up to be the problem in their relationship. That's true. Never forget that scene. I didn't either.
It was like outside of like a taco truck or something.
Yeah, when they were like, Ariana's just the worst.
Ariana's the worst.
Yeah, she's seeing all that. You're right. Yeah. You're right. It's all sinking in too. I would probably, if I was, listen, I'm a psycho. I would rewatch season 10 to make sure I had everything in my little brain to know who I was going to attack. 3, I hated Scheana with those glasses. She looked like she was on a Shania Twain motorcycle. Can we give her a break, please?
It's not my fashion choice, and I don't understand.
I don't care.
I don't understand anything.
I couldn't develop any objective feelings about that conversation because I was too distracted by those damn glasses. Once you acknowledge them, you can move past them. So I have hope for you rewatching that.
Go back and just close your eyes and listen to it.
Yeah, listen to it. Podcast style. I did a really good
dramatic reading.
Reading. Well, it wasn't dramatic. A very good recap.
Good recap.
We did a good
dramatic reading was earlier. Lisa.
We did a good recap. So just take our word and then come up objectively with what you think.
With what we think.
It's our thoughts. So Casey says, aside from Sandoval being Sandoval, is literally the ick. This 40-year-old man dressing like a boy band member from the 90s, trying to get sympathy from the audience, ick. Yeah. And every scene with him and Lisa, including the stupid one from last season during Scandoval, the one with the window, as I just mentioned,
can't forget,
feels like such bad acting, which in turn gives me much ick. It's called macting, Casey. I'm just kidding. And I'm trying not to dismiss his suicidal thoughts. It's very serious and concerning. However, in Meredith's voice. Do you say however a lot?
I do. I love a good however.
Instead of getting help and going someplace like Rachel, he went on tour, as everyone is saying, doubling down and showing no remorse. This man does not feel bad for his actions and does not regret them. Just like I tell my toddler, there are consequences for your actions. You don't get to decide when everyone gets over it. Ooh,
I like that.
Good one,
Let's
Casey.
teach that in schools.
Good one. Oh, it's Sarah.
She's having PTSD right now.
It's a lot shorter than the last one.
You got this. I bet she used small words for you.
Okay. Sarah says, I can't promise I won't use too big words in my notes. Oh my God. But I can promise that I have tried and I've edited them to try to make sure I'm not writing the way I normally write.
Sarah, what I think you should do is write what you want to write and then copy it into ChatGPT and then say, make this dumber.
That's it. Okay, not gonna lie though, I was tempted to open with a deliberately complicated sentence. Deliberately was even getting me a little. With words like phrase redacted for Alicia's sanity, just to mess around. But ultimately, I didn't feel like throwing that kind of chaos into the universe. Thank you, it was enough left. You can do it for the finale. How about I'll drink even, and then I'll try and read. We'll see how far I get.
Okay, but I'll pull a Patreon too, so then I can read it.
Okay, anyway. Loving how everyone in the comments is on the same page about Sandoval's birthday party turning into a pity party. Honestly, fuck that man. That's all I gotta say. By the way, did you notice his nail polish in the confessionals now has designs? Oh my God. No, I will be on lookout. Thank you so much. I'm with Lala. I really don't understand what emo is. Oh my God. Do they not have emo in Australia? If you want to know, let me know. I'll help. Sarah says, I really didn't respond well to how angry Sandoval got with Lisa. It set off this kind of alarm bell in the back of my mind, the one that we unfortunately have as women.
Mm-hmm.
His aggression towards Lisa was a bit outside of what I was comfortable watching, and ultimately, I wish Ken had been there because I think he would have gotten right in Sandoval's face like that time with James. And right at the end, Sandoval said he understood, but honestly, I really don't think he did. You're right. He was very aggressive with Lisa, which surprised me.
Me too.
Because Lisa's like an authority figure, not even just like... So then, do you think he got like this with Ariana? Because we also saw him get like this with Katie and Stassi and Kristen.
Oh, I bet behind closed doors it was not pretty. I knew this, obviously, this moment we knew it was going to happen because the like, this is my life. It was in the promo, but like this was different than what I thought.
Yeah, it also made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I didn't like it. I did a weird dramatic reading, but
ever treats Lisa like that. I mean, James has like been the most to like
he's tried, but he got fired for it.
But I will say, like, a job was on the line. Like, he was like, not saying it's right, but like the situation was definitely more like different. And so it's kind of weird to have like I'll call her his mentor now.
Yeah,
being screamed at.
Agreed. Sarah says, I'm accepting Scheana this week despite her Y2K glasses. I really like how she handled everything with Sandoval. She was very mature. Claps for Shishi. Tom Schwartz is in second place today. Ooh, what? Weird. Second place accept? Crazy. Okay. I'm blocking Sandoval because of his tone with Lisa.
Sandoval.
Okay. Sarah ends with, that's kind of it for me this week. And actually, the whole state I live in had a hellish 24 hours on Tuesday. No. So while I know I still wrote a lot, I think it's less than usual. It is. I know.
Alicia.
Or maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Other than that, we would love your thoughts on the trailer for Vanderpump Villa if you haven't discussed it already on the pre-show. I haven't watched it. Meredith, do you want to give Sarah what she's looking for?
I have not watched it at all. I've been...
Oh,
a bag of kiss. I didn't even know it started. Vanderpump
Village? The trailer.
Oh, I watched the... I don't know if I actually fully watched the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer.
I'm going to be honest with people. I'm not interested in watching the Valley Show or Vanderpump Villa, personally. But if you write enough at me, maybe I will.
Well, Sarah says, it seems to me like Vanderpump Rules' version of Timber Creek Lodge, which I know I have suggested for the absolutely fabulous and dearly missed One Season Wonders, of which I am the biggest fan.
We are the biggest fans of doing it. It's just really hard to slot in around these two shows.
You know what, Sarah? I love you so much, even though you made me struggle last week, because A, this week you didn't, and B, we know when we go back to One Season Wonders, we will always have one fan, and that will be you, and we will forever cherish you for always.
Here's the thing. We want to do those shows like year round. Yes. We need these shows to stop.
I need these to be canceled. I mean, this was our biggest regret is picking these shows. I'm just kidding.
I didn't know we had no idea.
I thought it would go, at the time we started this podcast, I thought Vanderpump Rules was going for 10 seasons.
I kind of felt like it would stop at 10.
But then this happened, which was great. Okay, it gave us a lot to talk about and a lot of drama.
It's good and bad all at the same time. We love it.
We miss One Season Wonders. And again, Sarah can vouch for us. Our Bush Family Brood season, that was the best season of TV we've ever done.
I know. I've never cried so hard in my entire life.
If you like this, that season of One Season Wonders is so
iconic.
Good. It was so good. Sarah, I love you so much. Thank you for redacting.
It will come back. I am dedicated to that show in the long term, but we need one more year of not doing it.
I know.
Sorry, that's a long time from now.
But Sarah, for you, I'm going to fight to get this done.
We're going to do Kid Nation. I want Kid Nation.
I know. I'm not watching it for you for this.
No, I know.
Anyway, Sarah, thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate no big words. Anyway, let's talk about Tierney. Tierney, I swear to God, you give me a big word, I'm coming at you. Anyway, Tierney says, I'm still laughing when I think Alicia trying to read Sarah's thoughts from that. Yeah, thanks, Tierney. All right. So On to this week. I went to give my thoughts on the episode and got so annoyed that I had to stop, hence them being delayed. I'm going to just say, Scheana is always going to be Scheana. I'm sure everyone will understand what I mean when I say that.
Yep.
No, Tierney, what do you mean when you say that?
This delusional one over here. The only thing we disagree about.
However, I enjoyed her sit down with Sandoval, and she held her own with him. I also listened to Nima on Scheana's podcast. Ooh, I didn't. Tell me more. They didn't discuss anything other than the events in New York when they hung out. Sandoval continues to play the victim and how this is being done to him and not because of him. Then for him to say Lala is a narcissist, deflect. I'm over this part of the fallout for sure. I will always stick with the show, but I can't with that. I think Lisa's conversation with him was the closest to him actually listening, which was barely that.
I was going to say, which that's scary.
Now on to Schwartz. Once again, the mask slipped when he wasn't getting his way, and again, when he realized everyone wasn't on his side, backtracked. Is Ariana being petty in some ways? Absolutely. Does she have a right to be? Hell yes, she does. I feel like I need to remind everyone it's only been 3 months since she found out. One last thing. The Jesse. Sorry,
oh,
I hate that Jesse was here. The Jesse they showed at SUR is the same guy that they were raising money for because he was in the hospital needing brain surgery.
Yeah.
When was that? Did I miss that episode?
Like right when Sandoval went down, I swear. Or like maybe
was I
kidding. Maybe it was actually more recently. I did see it. Like some of the cast members like posted about this, and they like his boyfriend was like on taking over Jesse's like Instagram, like writing what was going on, but like not enough details for me to satisfy my like, whoa, what is going on?
Oh my God, Jesse, I had no idea. But Tierney Googled him and he's recovering, so that's good news.
Oh, good.
Okay, Tierney says, I'm hoping that everyone is watching the after show because once again, huge insight. Can you just fill me in? Thank you so much.
I didn't have enough time this week, but I will normally.
Well, Tierney fills us in. James said there's a queen every year. Lala and Scheana agree, but then of course Scheana once again Scheana'd by saying she's never been the queen of the group.
Well, we know.
That's why I love her so much. She's so endearing.
We never said everybody's had a turn being the queen.
We just said there's
a queen
always
every year.
Not for lack of trying there, lady.
I'm dying.
Shall we remind you of your first wedding season when you were the last one still working at SUR and tried to be Stassi in the season with the new people?
I forgot about that.
Even last season she tried. Well, you know what? A determined queen, if you will. So, Lala said something somewhat interesting, though, that Sandoval, Ariana, and Katie are the least to reach out to her, but James contradicted that slightly by saying that they text. I was surprised by Lala saying Katie, though, because last season they were so close. I'm curious to know what happened. I bet Lala flip-flopped with Scheana.
I do, too.
And I bet Katie's not about that flip-flop life. She will cut anyone else who flip-flops. And with Schwartz, I bet they both want a friendship with Schwartz, and Katie's not going to let that bullshit in her inner circle. That's not who Katie is.
I think it's, with Schwartz, I think it's how aggressively they're probably going to defend him and friend him, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, they'll ride for him. That will really get to Katie.
That's going to get Katie, and then she's not going to want to share her personal life.
Don't explain away these boys' actions. Don't help them defend themselves, especially to the two people they wronged the most.
As, what was it, Tierney that said? The mask slips. Mm-hmm. Was that Tierney? Or did I just read that? I don't even know. So. The mask slips when he doesn't get what he wants. Anyway, this week, Tierney accepted and blocked. She accepted Ariana, what she said to Schwartz at SUR and how she handled his mask slip about being queen and speaking for the group. For blocked, I have to go with Sandoval, even though it seems too easy. I'm just tired of him playing victim. Listen, it could be easy.
We got to let him know. We got to let him know. Not by writing anything on his page, but we can block him.
And she says, have a good weekend. Or have a good week, everyone. So just so everyone knows, Tierney's wishing them a good week. I again want to say thank you so much to Sarah. I feel way better than I did last time.
Good.
And I can breathe. Okay. Do all the things we said. Leave us reviews. We haven't gotten one for this season.
We haven't.
And I'm upset. And I'm offended.
Give us something to talk 5 more minutes about. We need it.
It's not long enough. So, with that, Meredith, do you have any final words before I close us out?
I don't. Well, not really. Just excited.
Amazing. Well, with that, forget what you heard and remember where you heard it first.